So let me introduce myself, and I'll ask you people to introduce after mine. So myself, I'm Venu. I have around 18 plus years of experience into the field of HR. I've started my career as HR executive for one of the manufacturing industries. And then from there, I've moved to SAP HCM implementations. From SAP HCM, I've upgraded my skills and I'm into success factors from last 9 to 10 years. And in these 9 years, I've worked on modules like employee central, compensation, performance management, recruiting, and onboarding. Though I've worked on all of these modules, I've spent most of my time in employee central and compensation. Okay, because those are my core areas. And coming to teaching, I'm into teaching from last 12 years. I used to train earlier on SAP HCM, and after getting into SuccessFactors, I started training on SuccessFactors as well. Okay, that's a brief about me. Can one of you introduce yourself? Anyway, quickly.
Yeah, Venu, myself, Raja. Uh, I had a total 9 plus years of experience. In my past, I worked as an SAP HCM end user, which is
Mm-hmm.
in abroad. After that, I just jumped into talent acquisition for USIT, and I'm doing parallel USIT with domestic recruiting also.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Rajan.
Thank you.
Next, Dinesh,
Yeah,
Nidhi.
good. Uh,
Yeah, go ahead, Dinesh.
this happiness. Currently, actually, I have five plus years of experience in your site industry. Currently, I'm working as senior technical recruiter.
Technically. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Dinesh.
Yeah, thanks.
Nidhi?
Yes, hello, sir. This is Nidhi. I have experience in HR and now I'm interested to explore success factors.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Nidhi. There's one more person. It says iPhone. Must have joined from mobile. Okay, that's fine then. They're unable to unmute. It's fine. Can continue. Let's quickly get into. Sunday evening, I'll not take much of the time. We'll try to wrap it up a bit early. Yeah. Firstly, let me give you some information about success factors. Now, this course consists of total of 25 sessions. First 4 sessions will be completely of theoretical part, like we'll be discussing about what is success factors, how to do the certification, is how certification is helpful for the implementations or the support projects. What are the different types of projects that we have? Landscape of success factor system, the types of systems that we use. So all of these things we'll be discussing in first 4 sessions, which are very much important for everyone, uh, every aspirant who want to get into SF. And from fifth session onwards, we'll be doing the practical part. All of you would be given access to system, and we'll be doing everything in the practical in the rest 2021 session. It would be like a mini project that we'll be doing. Okay. Yeah. So what is success factors? How many of you know what is a success factors application? You must have heard somewhere about success factors, right? Or you must have Googled somewhere about success factors before joining this demo. What do you know?
SuccessFactors is a cloud-based ERP tool.
Exactly. Success factors is a cloud-based ERP. It's not ERP, it's a HR application. Okay. So what do you mean by cloud-based or cloud computing? What do you
Access
mean
the
by
data from remote locations
data
to
from
internet.
remote location? Okay, let me put it this way. So any application that you want to access, what is the first thing that you need? Any application that you want to host, that you want to develop, that you want to use, what is the first thing that we need?
Internet.
Internet. Okay. So internet, if it is a cloud computing, you'll be using internet. Okay. The first thing that we need would be your database or the server space. And depending on the application size that we want to host, no, we'd be going with the size or the database. Let's say I want to implement one application for a customer with 100 employees. So I might need only little space. I want to have an application for 1 million users. Now, it can be a gaming application, or it can be a social collaboration application, or it can be anything. Okay, so it depends upon the size of the users for whom we are developing it. So the first and foremost thing would be your infrastructure or the servers. Now, these servers can be of two types. When you want to host an application, the servers can be hosted in two different ways. One is you procure a physical server. You procure a server and place it in your organization. That's your on-premise application. That's called on-premise. Second, instead of procuring the servers, go with the cloud services. Here, the servers are not hosted physically. They're hosted on internet to store, manage, and process the data. On-premise applications, you will see the physical servers, and if you want to use that, you need to connect your local machine to that server. In general, organizations, when they host these applications, when they host the applications or when they host the servers, okay, if it is a physical server, we need to connect our systems to that server using VPN or the local area network. If you are in office premises, you want to connect to your server, you need to plug in the local area network. Whereas in the cloud computing application, you don't need to connect through local area network or through VPN. Instead, we use internet. Okay, simple example can be your Gmail. So if you want to access Gmail, what is the first thing that you need? You need internet. Okay, and then you open the Gmail in the browser, input your credentials, your ID and password, you log into your account. You can send mails, you can send files, you can receive mails, you can check your mails. Again, Gmail also gives you some space, right? It gives you 15 GB of space. So either you can use your emails or you can also store some files into your drive. So if the files or if the space is completed, exhausted, you will not be able to send or receive emails because you have consumed all the 15 GB of space. Now, Gmail gives you 15 GB of space for free. And from there onwards, it asks you to buy some space, maybe on monthly basis or yearly basis, right? The same thing applies in the cloud computing applications as well. SuccessFactors is a cloud computing HR application which is hosted on internet. And depending on the customers, depending on the size of the customer, they can go with the available space. Now, it can be for 50 employees, or it can be 5,000, 20,000, 50,000, 1 lakh or 10 lakh employees. It depends upon the size of the organization that we are implementing. Okay. Now, if you look at the definition of a cloud computing, the practice of using network of remote servers hosted on internet to store, manage, and process data rather than the local server. And if you look at this picture, the first thing that we need is infrastructure. This makes the difference. Infrastructure is not hosted physically, it is hosted on internet. And second is the platform. Again, once you have your server, you need to have a platform to build an application. So what platform you want to use? Like mobiles, you have platforms like Android, you have iOS. Similarly, to develop an application, depending on the platform, you can decide how you want to develop. And the third is the application, the type of application that you want to develop. Okay, it can be for the employees of the organization, it can be for marketing, it can be for sales, it can be for a finance, but depending on the type of the application that we choose. Now, all of this structure remains same for both on-premise applications and the cloud computing application. Both of them, the structure is same, but on-premise, everything would be hosted online, where everything would be hosted offline, whereas the cloud computing would be online. Depending on these three layers, you have the cloud service models have been divided into three: IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. IaaS is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Now, customers who just want to have the infrastructure, let's say I want to develop my own software. I don't want to use existing one, but I want to develop my own software. The first thing that I need is infrastructure. So infrastructure, again, I want to have my own servers, or I want to subscribe for available spaces. Now, example can be your Azure, okay, AWS, Amazon Web Services, or VPN. So these are your infrastructure as a services where you'll be getting the server space. Platform as a service. Here you'll be getting the platform. And third is software as a service. Instead of developing your own software, you can use the available applications in the market, which is again for the end users. If you see here, software as a service is for the end users, and platform as a service is for developers because they have to develop an application, whereas infrastructure as a service is for network architects. Okay, examples of these can be your Amazon Web Services, or VMware is for infrastructure as a service, and then Windows, Azure, or Force.com in the platform as a service, and SuccessFactors, Salesforce, Workday. So these are examples of software as a service. And then why customers are moving away from on-premise applications to cloud computing applications. What are the advantages of having the cloud computing? First and foremost is productivity anywhere. By using the cloud computing applications, the productivity would be from anywhere. That means you don't have to be in office to open a file, or to open the employee data, or to access the application. You can access the application from any corner of the world. Maybe your office is in Australia or in US, but still you can access the data sitting here in India or in some other country. Okay, so that's productivity anywhere. You want to apply a leave, you don't have to open your laptop and go apply a leave. You can still able to access the application through your mobile or the tablets. And then the offsite data storage. The data is not getting stored in premises, in your office premises. It is getting stored somewhere in internet, and you don't see the storage physically. No IT maintenance cost. Again, if you own your servers, you need to have a dedicated space. You need to have a dedicated team to look after your servers. You need to hire IT team. And if something happens to your server, it is your responsibility to fix it. If you want to expand your servers, again, you need to procure more servers. You need to have more team working on it. But in case of the cloud computing, you don't have to worry about the IT maintenance cost, disaster resistance, because it would be taken care by the cloud service provider. It will always be up. 365 days, 24/7, systems would be up. Lower cost of ownership because we are not procuring servers, because we are not dedicating any space, because we are not hiring any IT team. Obviously, the amount that we spend on the cloud computing applications are much more lesser when compared to on-premise applications. And the last one is easily upgraded. The applications need some kind of upgrades. Example, the WhatsApp application, the WhatsApp, if you open, there are many features now. You have voice chat, we have video calls, we have group calls, we can send money. Now, all of these functionalities are features were not existing when they initially launched. Slowly, they have incorporated these functionalities into the product. Right? So these were added into the product through some upgrades. Now that's why if you go and open your any application, you will see the version 1.2, 2.4, 5, 4.6. You will see that version. What does that version mean? Now every version they add these new functionalities. The same thing applies for SuccessFactors as well. SuccessFactors gets updated, upgraded once in 6 months. Okay, so these are the advantages of having the cloud computing. Now coming to SuccessFactors. What is SuccessFactors? SuccessFactors is a cloud computing HRIS information, human resource information, which is used for the enterprise class organizations. It is mostly used by HRs to perform actions like hiring, transfers, promotions, terminations, applying leaves, suspensions, data changes. All of these are done by HRs. Apart from the application used by HRs, every employee in the organization can also log into application, okay, to apply leave or to look at their pay slips, to look at their offer letters or to download their appointment letters. They can do all of these things. They can update their own information. So employees uses the application as employee self-service, or managers uses it as a manager self-service. So it is used by all the employees of the organization. Within SuccessFactors, we have many modules. If you look at this picture, the core or the base is Employee Central. So why do we call Employee Central as a base? Is we store, we manage, we process the data, master data in Employee Central. And this data is accessed by other modules. Like if we have to do appraisals, we need to have some basic details of an employee. Whom does the employee report to? Which department the employee is in? What are the goals of the employee? So these information is stored in Employee Central. If a recruiter has to work on the requisitions, recruiter should know what are the open positions. These open positions are maintained in Employee Central. If we have to do some training, or depending on the type of the employee, whether employee is a regular or a trainee or a contractor, depending on the type of the employment, system should show up the trainings. So this is in the learning module. So there are all of these are different modules of SuccessFactors which uses the employee data. SuccessFactors application, all the modules of SuccessFactors application are tightly integrated so that the data flows from one module to other module. Data comes from performance management to Employee Central and from Employee Central to performance management. So most of the master data is maintained in Employee Central. Okay. Now, what is Employee Central? Employee Central is all about maintaining the record management, employee record management. Employee data is broadly classified into two types in SF: personal information and employment information. Within personal information, when you're hiring an employee, when you're hiring a candidate, you maintain a lot of information like name information, biographical information, which stores the date of birth details, education details, previous experience details, contact information, address information. So all of these are considered as personal information of the candidate. Apart from this, we also maintain other information like position information, time information, org information, comp information. So this is all the employment details. Which company does the employee belong to? Which location the employee would be working in? What is the salary of the employee? What is the grade of the employee? So all of this information is called the employment information or organizational information, which can be used to process the payroll for the employee. And we also provide the self-service to employee. If I'm an employee, when I join any organization, if I have to look at my details, which HR has maintained, I can go view the details. I can, to some extent, I can also edit my details. Let's say my address is changed. I was residing in some place. Now, recently, I've moved to a different place. So I need to go update my address details. I was using a different mobile number. Now I have changed my mobile number. I need to update that in the system. So I can update this in the system as an employee. There are some information which I can only view, like my compensation details, my grade details, my employment details, which I can view, but I will not be able to edit. And this will be modified or updated by only HRs or managers. So that is called your manager self-service. Managers do some actions, like if employee has applied a leave, that goes to a manager, manager has to go and approve. Or if manager want to initiate some action, they should be able to do. That is through manager self-service. Now, SuccessFactors is a global application which is used more than 200 countries, and it is available in 47 different languages. Most of the countries uses English as the main language, but there are some countries where English is not the core language, like Chinese or Japanese or French or Spanish. If you go to these countries, France, Spain, China, Japan, there the applications they use are in their own local language, not in English. Now, even if you look at their applications like WhatsApp or Facebook, it would be completely in their local language. The SuccessFactors also allows you to switch from one language to other language, and it supports up to 47 different languages. A simple example how the data flows from one module to other module. Like if a recruiter has to post a requisition, firstly, they have to go look at the vacant position in Employee Central. That position is converted to requisition. All of the data from position would be flowing to requisition. And this requisition would be posted. Candidates start applying for these requisitions. And then whenever a candidate applies for a job, system automatically fetches some data. And this data gets stored in recruiting. Once the candidate is finalized, once the candidate is offered, that candidate information will flow to onboarding module, where candidate has to add some more information that is required for hiring. And all of this data from recruiting to onboarding and from onboarding to Employee Central, the data flows from onboarding to Employee Central. So that means data is flowing from Employee Central to recruiting and from recruiting to back to EC, or from recruiting to onboarding and from onboarding to EC. So that's an example of how the data flows from one module to other module. Okay. So let me open SuccessFactors system and show you how does it look. Any doubts so far?
No, sir.
Okay. Let me open. Okay. So this is how any employee logs into the system. Okay, you will have a URL and then ID, password. Employee logs into the system, and this is the home page of SuccessFactors. More or less, this would be same for all the customers across the globe. The colors may vary, the pictures may vary, but the content remains same for all customers. Now, as soon as you log in, you will have some quick actions, the immediate actions that you want to do. Maybe you want to apply a leave, or maybe you want to go and look at the organization chat, or maybe you want to perform some action on your employees. So you can do it through quick actions. Or you can also have a module picker. You have a module picker where you go and choose the module. Now I want to work on a recruiting or a requisition. So I can go to recruiting module. Okay, I want to generate a report. So I can go to reporting. So either you can go to any of the modules from the module picker, or you have some quick actions. Some of these actions are available under quick actions. Let's say I want to look at the organization chart. So you go, just click on view organization chart. It opens up the organization chart and shows the employee structure. Let's say I want to look at one of the employee called Mohan. Go search for the employee. It shows up whom does Mohan report to, and how many employees are reporting to Mohan. Mohan has got two, see here, 2 by 2 level. There are two direct reports who are reporting to Mohan. Under these two direct reports, there are more employees. Under Eileen, there are 13 reports. Under each of them, we have some more employees. So I can go and look at the organization chart. Okay, so this is flexible. As soon as you hire employees, when you add the manager of the employee, we can look at the details. You can download the organization chart. I can also look at the position org chart. Position org chart is similar to organization chart, but it also shows up the vacant positions. How many positions are filled and how many positions are vacant. Now you see here, this position is filled, this position is vacant. So I don't see any person here. There's one position under this. There's one position under this. So I can go and see what is the position details. Which company does the position belongs to? Which department is the position in? So I can look at the details, complete details in the position org chart as well. And if I want to search for any employee, you can go search for the employee. You can search for the employee, which opens up the employee profile in people profile. This is a page which is called the people profile, where you can look at the employee information, different information like personal information. It contains the details like first name, last name, middle name, and so on. It contains biographical information, which stores the date of birth details. It has address, contact information, dependent information, employment information, compensation information. So all of this information is maintained here. Now, each customers may want to have different data. Now, the page looks same for every customer, but the fields might vary. SuccessFactors gives us some standard fields in each sections, but again, it allows us to customize. If customer don't want to have certain fields, we can remove them. Customer want to add additional fields into any of these portlets or blocks, we can add them. Okay, so this is the configuration what we'll be doing in these sessions. So how do we configure these fields? How to create the fields? How to add fields? How to hide fields? How to change the properties of the fields? So all of this we'll be doing in our regular sessions. Okay. And as part of the course content of the course, as I said, the entire Employee Central content would be covered in 25 sessions. First 4 sessions would be completely of theoretical part. And then the rest of the 21 sessions would be the practical sessions. all of you would be given access to material where you can download the material. Like there are different materials, PDFs, PowerPoints, Excels, and the documents. We'll be sharing you this material. Every day after the session, will also be given the recording of the sessions. System access is given until the end of the sessions, and then after which, if you want, can be extended. We help you out in the resume preparation. We also help you in the job assistant. We don't guarantee you job, but we'll help you out if there are any vacancies in the known organizations. We'll refer you there. We conduct mock interviews once you're ready with the employee central knowledge. We'll be taking the mock interviews before you give the actual interviews. We also assist in clearing the certification. So certification is very important. Every organization, when you apply for a job in the organizations, the first thing they ask you is whether you have the active certification or not. So we help you in clearing the certification. That's it. So any questions? Anything that you would like to know? So these sessions, we generally take two. I generally take two sessions, one in the morning and one in the evening. This batch we are proposing for the 9 a.m. batch, which will be started on 4th of June. Will be starting from Wednesday, 9 a.m.
Sir, is the class timing fixed or there is a possibility of change?
Yeah, we do have different batches. One is morning 7:30 a.m. Like there's already a batch which is going on at 7:30 a.m. And then evening also we have one batch which is at 6 p.m., 6 to 7 p.m. And the current batch what we are planning to have is the 9 a.m. So you can show your interest. If you're interested, you can let Sai Krishna know, others know, your coordinators know what are your preferred timings.
Okay. And so is it possible to contact you directly once if we have any queries, like before joining the batch?
No, you can coordinate with the coordinator. Like somebody must have reached out to you for the demo, right? You can speak to them once you have enrolled. Maybe after that. Now, every day we'll be starting off the sessions with clarifying your doubts, any kind of doubts that you have in your practice. That we will be clarifying that. And if required, we have our our team who will help you out in the configuration issues as well.
Okay.
Very one question, like
Yes.
SAP HCM, there is a unique code will be there for the every employee, which is an organization.
Yeah, person
So
ID or employee ID.
Yeah, employee ID, right. So the same thing is when SAP SuccessFactor is there, or only through names only we can recognize it.
No,
How it is?
you will also have the person ID. Person ID or employee ID is a unique ID. You may have multiple employees with the same name. Let's say Venu. You may be having 10 employees with name Venu. Okay. So the unique identifier would always be the employee ID or the user ID. Different organizations call them differently. Like in SAP we call it PERNER, okay, or personal number. Here we can change it, like usually it is employee ID or user ID, but if you want to have it as with a different name like PERNER or person ID, yes, we can change.
So one more thing, like server access will be shared immediately, or like you I think mentioned that it will be shared later on.
Yes,
Towards the end.
once the practical sessions have started, we'll be sharing you the access.
Like after around 5 to 6 classes?
Yes.
after the theory portion is over,
Yes.
immediately when the practical portion starts,
Yes,
immediately
we will
server
be giving
access
you
of
the
this.
system access. Yes.
Okay, so that will be the latest version which is currently going on in SAP.
Yes, all
The
the
server.
systems across the globe, they are updated once in 6 months. This is global application. So every application that every demo system that we use is the updated one or the latest one. SuccessFactors updates the applications globally. So you will not, even if you want to have the old version, you will not be able to have it.
Venu, after this 21 days, there will be any support like basis on a server. Why? Because
Yes, we do support.
so till how many months we can get that?
You mean the system access?
Yes, system access.
System access would be provided to you again after the sessions. If you want to have the system access extended, that can be done. But there would be some charges, minimal charges that would be.
Got it.
Anything
So
else?
one more thing,
Yeah, go
actually,
ahead.
I just had one request. I got your mail ID from one of my friend. If you could just check the mail once I have sent. There were few things that I wanted to know. If you could just check the mail once and.
Okay, I'll check with your coordinator, Sai Krishna, or whomever you're coordinating with. Let me see that mail, or he will
No, I
connect
think
you.
it is your mail ID which I got. Like, shall I tell it once?
Yep.
On what mail ID I've mailed? Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Venu.sfcomp@gmail.com. Is it your mail ID?
Yes, yeah, that's my email.
Okay. Just check one mail which is sent by me, like
Yeah.
just few minutes back. Okay.
Yeah, sure. I'll check that and I'll revert on it.
Sure, sir.
Okay. Yeah. I'll ask Krishna to connect with you.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else before we call it a day?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Okay,
So
then.
for doubts, like we can connect only during the classes, right?
Yes. Usually.
The 7:30 batch which you was mentioning, how many classes of that has been completed? Like,
We don't know the exact date when we'll be starting. Again, there's one batch which is going on, and this would be completed by this weekend. We may be starting a new batch, but not very soon. Maybe after 1 week. Maybe
okay.
from 16th or 17th.
Okay. The immediate batch is from 4th June, right?
Yes, immediate batch is from 4th of June. That is at 9 a.m. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. Hope to see you all soon in the regular sessions.
Hello.
Yep.
So there is one
Yes,
more
Hari.
thing.
Yes.
So there is one more thing. Actually, like I have already done success factors from somewhere once, but it wasn't much helpful. So, and I'm looking forward to complete, like as of now, I'll be starting from the beginning, right? So later on, the stages, which comes topics like work, business rules, workflows. Although even if I join the batch, from starting to end,
Okay.
But I have like topics doubts from later on stages of practical sessions and all, and I wanted to like complete it as soon as possible till in about 10 days and then start giving interviews and all. So will it be possible to connect for those like after, just immediately after the batch class is over? Because in the class some other topics, you know beginning topics will be going on.
Mm-hmm. No, see,
So
there's a
what?
process which we actually follow. We go in a particular sequence for the configuration. We follow a particular sequence. Okay, we don't encourage or we don't ask you the doubts without having a proper knowledge in that particular topic. Let's say if I'm discussing about the imports and exports. Okay, so I'll tell you how to do the imports. How to do the import. So know what happens when you doesn't do or maintain the data correctly, or you should know some basics of business rules when we are discussing about basic business rules. So I start from basics of business rules, and then we'll start simple business rules to complex business rules. Okay, so it won't you will not be able to understand if we don't go in that proper sequence and in that in that flow. So I can help you out now if you want to have it in a 10 days, like we can do that. But again, I would recommend you take some time, have a proper knowledge about each and every topic, take your time, practice, and then go with the interviews. Don't waste, even if it is a one opportunity, don't waste that opportunity without having the complete knowledge.
Okay.
Because no, you want to build your career in success factors, spend some time. It's like one month which you have to spend of practice well, try to grasp as much as you can, and then any assistance that you need in the interviews will help you out. You can definitely clear interviews.
Okay, so
Okay. Anything else?
Can you please explain about the placement about it? Like in
Sorry.
how many months about the placement and things? Like in how many months placed can after a
It
course?
depends. See, the course is, as I said, 25 sessions, which will be covered in 35 to 40 days. Okay, it goes on from
Okay.
35 to 40 days.
Mm.
So if you are up to date, like every day you're practicing and then you're ready, after 40 days, you can start applying the job.
Okay. Okay.
Some topics are very easy, like how to add an object or how to hire an employee. This would be easy, but there are few topics which you need to practice a lot, like business rules or workflows or RBP. You need to practice a lot. So you may take some time.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Thank you, Will.
Thank you. Bye.